My dear one, snuggle in deep now, and let your mind drift gently with the quiet telling of a very special story. It is a tale of a young soul named Paul, who lived on a world of endless green and gentle rain, a place called Caladan. Paul was a thoughtful boy, much loved by his noble father, Duke Leto Atreides, and his wise mother, Lady Jessica. She was a woman of extraordinary grace, a Bene Gesserit, who could wield a quiet power with her voice and her mind. Paul himself was not entirely ordinary. He often saw flickers of the future in his dreams, like soft whispers carried on the wind, and sometimes felt a strange, deep pull towards distant stars. One day, a most important visitor arrived, the Reverend Mother Gaius Helen Mohiam, a very old and powerful Bene Gesserit. She came to test Paul, to see the depth of his spirit and the strength of his will. It was a rigorous assessment, a quiet challenge to his inner calm, where he had to reach deep within himself to find stillness amidst a powerful sensation. He faced it with quiet courage, and the Reverend Mother, though stern, recognized a unique spark within him. She spoke of his potential, of a future both bright and shadowed, and of a destiny that would unfold on a far-off world. Soon after, a grand and unexpected decree arrived from the distant emperor. House Atreides was commanded to leave their beloved Caladan and take stewardship of a harsh, sandy planet called Arrakis. This world was not like Caladan. It was a place of vast, golden deserts, home to a precious substance called spice, and immense, magnificent creatures that moved beneath the sands. For generations, Arrakis had been controlled by House Harkonnen, a family known for their cold ambitions. The Emperor's command seemed like a great honor, but wise Duke Leto sensed a deeper game afoot, a trap carefully laid by unseen hands. Despite the unease, preparations began, and House Atreides departed from Caladan. The journey through the stars was long, a quiet passage between worlds. When they arrived on Arrakis, the contrast was profound. The air was dreidsul, the sun harsh, but there was a strange beauty to the endless dunes. They settled into their new home, a grand fortress once occupied by the Harkonnens, now adapted for the Atreides. Paul began to learn about this new world. He met the local people, the Fremen, a mysterious folk who lived deep within the desert, their eyes a striking blue from constant exposure to the spice. He saw their leader, Stilgar, a man of quiet strength, and also Shadout Mapes, a kind Fremen woman who worked in their new household. Dr. Kynes, the imperial planetologist, also shared her deep knowledge of Arrakis and its many secrets, including the colossal sand trout that were the true guardians of the spice. One memorable day, Paul joined his father and Gurney Halleck, the Duke's loyal master-at-arms, on a journey to witness a spice harvester at work. It was a vast, intricate machine, gathering the precious dust from the sand. Suddenly, a tremor shook the ground, a deep vibration that spoke of a truly immense being moving beneath them. It was a sand trout, an ancient inhabitant of Arrakis, drawn by the rhythm of the harvest. With swift precision, the harvester crew was rescued, and Paul experienced firsthand the raw power and ancient mystery of Arrakis. During these days, Paul's dreams intensified, showing him glimpses of a Fremen girl, a vision of the future that felt both distant and incredibly real. But the Duke's quiet premonition proved true. The Harkonnen trap, aided by the Emperor's elite Sardaukar soldiers, was sprung. It was a night of sudden chaos and profound upheaval. Dr. Yueh The Atreides physician had been forced into a terrible betrayal, lowering the shields of their fortress, allowing the enemy to descend upon them. He loved House Atreides deeply, but a painful choice had been forced upon him by the Harkonnens, who held his own beloved in their grasp. In the midst of this sorrowful turn, brave Duke Leto, sensing his final moments, made a profound sacrifice. He had been captured by the Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, a man of cold ambition and immense size. In his final act of quiet resistance, Leto released a gentle, sleeping gas within the Baron's chambers, a last defiant gesture to protect his legacy. Though his time on Arrakis was brief, his spirit remained, a guiding light for Paul. Paul and Lady Jessica, due to Dr. Yue's heartbroken arrangement, managed to escape the immediate destruction. They found themselves fleeing in a small ornithopter, a bird-like flying craft, into the vast, unknown desert. Their loyal friend, Duncan Idaho, the Atreides swordmaster, bravely stayed behind, making a courageous stand against the overwhelming enemy forces to buy Paul and Jessica precious time to escape. He faced a great number of opponents with quiet valor, ensuring their path to freedom. The ornithopter, damaged in the flight, eventually made a quiet landing deep in the desolate dunes. There, Paul and Jessica faced the harsh realities of Arrakis. They had to learn the desert ways, to conserve their water, to walk in rhythm with the sand, to avoid attracting the attention of the colossal sand trout. Jessica taught Paul the ways of stealth and resilience, drawing upon her Bene Gesserit training, while Paul's visions continued to guide and sometimes trouble him, showing him paths and possibilities, some peaceful, some profound. As they journeyed through the endless golden landscape, they encountered a group of Fremen. Among them was Stilgar, the leader Paul had met before, and also the very girl from Paul's visions, Chani, her eyes a deep, knowing blue. But the meeting was not entirely peaceful. There was a moment of challenge, a test of Paul's place among them. A Fremen warrior named Jamis, fiercely protective of his people's traditions, challenged Paul to a ritual duel. It was a moment of intense quiet focus, a true test of Paul's burgeoning strength and his understanding of the desert's harsh laws. Paul, with a quiet resolve he hadn't known he possessed, faced Jamis. It was a difficult, solemn encounter where Paul found a way to conclude the challenge, bringing a stillness to Jamis's spirit, thus fulfilling a prophecy in the Fremen's eyes. It was his first experience of taking a life, a moment that marked a profound shift within him. With this trial passed, Paul and Jessica were accepted by the Fremen. They would travel deeper into the desert, towards a hidden Sayach, a secret Fremen community, where they would find refuge and learn the ancient ways of the desert people. Paul looked at Chani, a silent understanding passing between them, recognizing her as the girl from his dreams, his guide to this new life. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of soft orange and violet, Paul knew his path was clear. He would embrace his destiny, learn from the Fremen, and grow into the leader he was meant to be, understanding that this journey was just beginning, a quiet unfolding of events that would shape the future of Arrakis and beyond. And so, my dear one, Paul and Jessica walked hand in hand with their new companions, moving deeper into the vast, welcoming silence of the desert night, ready for whatever lay ahead, their hearts finding a calm, steady rhythm in the vastness of the universe. Now you too can let your mind drift gently, knowing that all is well, and peace surrounds you. Sleep deeply, and dream sweet dreams.